Hello everyone and welcome back to Turner's Tutoring. I'm Mr. Turner and we are doing a 3rd to 5th grade read aloud that is closer to 3rd grade and reading independently. This is from our DK readers. This is Star Wars, Star Pilot, and so on and so forth. If you are enjoying these videos, please remember to like and subscribe to help us grow. Let's go ahead and get started, and remember I'm using the bookmark to mark where I'm reading. Just read right above. Let's get into Star Wars Star Pilot. Our first thing that we're looking at is a contents. This is going to show us where we can find different information. Into the stars. The galaxy is a big place with millions of planets in it, and it is yours to explore. But you are going to need a ride. Maybe you will take a spin in a speedy starfighter. Perhaps cruising in a silver starship is more your style. With luck, you will steer clear of the terrifying super star destroyers. In the huge galaxy, you need space vehicles for getting around. There are thousands of different ships zooming among the stars. Some carry just one passenger, while others move an entire army. This book shows you all the coolest and most important spacecraft. Welcome to the galaxy. Step in, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Welcome to Naboo. Theed. Naboo's capital city is known for its incredible architecture. The stunning royal palace, built on the edge of a sheer cliff, is a must-see sight for any visitor. Lake Retreat. Surrounded by mountains and stunning waterfalls, this location is the perfect place for a romantic getaway or a secret wedding. Oto Gunga. Located underwater, this lovely city is made using unique Gungan technology. The shapes and lights make the city glisten like a jewel. Great Grass Plains. Located to the south of the city of Theed is an area named the Great Grass Plains. Dramatic battles have taken place here, but its beauty is better suited to relaxing hikes. Droid Control Ship. The Trade Federation is a powerful group of greedy merchants from all over the galaxy. Its leaders fly around in large donut-shaped cargo ships. The Trade Federation is unhappy with the Galactic Republic, which rules the galaxy. To prepare for war, the Trade Federation secretly changes its cargo ships into battleships. The battleships can carry weapons and robot soldiers called battle droids. The droid control ship is the most important ship in the Trade Federation's fleet of battleships. It contains computers and special equipment that operate the battle droids by remote control. The droids will not work without signals from the control ship. The Trade Federation's leaders decide to show the Galactic Republic that they are powerful, so they attack the peaceful planet of Naboo. Above Naboo, pilots control the droid control ship from the ball-shaped core ship, which sits inside the outer ring. The core ship also contains the ship's reactor engine, but it is not well protected. A talented young pilot, Anakin Skywalker, discovers this for himself when he sets off a chain of explosions that destroys the droid control ship. In Anakin's own words, "Oops." Pawns of the Sith. Darth Sidious has a secret plan to gain total control of the galaxy. To get what he wants, he must hide his true identity and get others to do his dirty work. Darth Sidious, the evil Sith Lord, promises the greedy Trade Federation money and power if they accept his control. Trade Federation. The Neimoidian leaders of the Trade Federation live in fear of Darth Sidious. They will do whatever he says. Secret Army. Following Darth Sidious's orders, the Trade Federation secretly creates a powerful droid army. Invasion of Naboo. The droid army is deployed on the planet Naboo, causing a galactic crisis. Naboo Royal Starship. Inside and out, the Naboo Royal Starship is fit for a queen. Its engines and equipment are the very best. Inside, it is as beautiful as any palace. Everything is neat and tidy, right down to the ship's wires and cables. The starship is covered in shiny silver metal, a color only the Queen's transport is allowed. Because the Royal Starship travels on missions of peace, it is not armed with weapons. During her time as elected ruler of Naboo, Queen Amidala uses the Royal Starship to make official visits. Her bodyguards, loyal handmaidens, and the ship's crew always go with her. Pod racers, gentlemen and scoundrels, start your engines. Pod racing is a popular extreme sport in the galaxy. Several dozen pod racers race at a time, ducking and diving through the course at speeds of more than 500 miles, or 800 kilometers, an hour. Pilots use every skill they have to avoid crashing. On the day of a big pod race, you can almost taste the excitement in the air. Or is that the smell of the strong fuel that powers these super fast vehicles? A basic pod racer machine is made up of a cockpit or control pod, where the pilot sits, attached by cables to a pair of engines. But no two pod racers are alike. Pod racer pilots add extra bits of machinery to their vehicle to make them faster, and so shave seconds off their race times. Anakin Skywalker is the only human good enough to race. This 9-year-old boy is a skilled mechanic. He improves his pod racer, which he built himself, with spare parts he finds in the junk shop where he works. Anakin's mechanical skills are matched by his amazing performances as a pilot. Pod racing fans are still talking about his victory in the famous Bonta Eve Classic race, in which he beat the race favorite, Sebulba. Pod racing stars. Get ready for Tatooine's Bonta Eve Classic race, the greatest pod racing spectacle this side of the galaxy. Let's meet some of the daring racers who are taking part today. Rats Terrell. He may look harmless, but Rats Terrell has lightning-fast reflexes. They help him make split-second decisions while he races at high speed. Gazgana. Gazgana has 24 fingers. He can perform multiple tasks while racing, such as checking the oil, engine, and power. Ben Quaderneros. Ben is an inexperienced pod racer who is more used to racing on the amateur circuit. Ben has rented a B310 Quadra pod racer specially to compete in the Bonta Eve Classic. Tinto Pagales. Tinto discovered his talent for pod racing after running away from home. He is very proud of his powerful IPG X1131 Longtail pod racer. Naboo N1 starfighters. In times of peace, N1 starfighter ships fly alongside the Queen of Naboo's royal starship. But in times of war, they may have to use their twin blaster cannons to get out of danger. Once, Anakin Skywalker hides in an N1 starfighter. He accidentally turns the engines on. The starfighter shoots into the air and flies into a fierce battle between the Trade Federation and Naboo. Anakin dodges heavy fire from the enemy ships. Using all the skills he learned as a pod racer, he enters the droid control ship and destroys its engines. Since the Trade Federation's army is controlled by the ship, Anakin ends the war and becomes a hero. Slave 1. When Jango Fett is after you in his starship Slave 1, there's nowhere to hide. Jango is a bounty hunter. He captures people who are on the run from the law and collects the reward for those he finds and delivers. A good bounty hunter needs a ship that can go anywhere in the galaxy. The ship must be full of powerful weapons to use on anything in its way. It should also have a secure place to hold captives once they have been caught. Jango stole Slave 1 from a prison, so it already had onboard prison cells, but he made lots of improvements. The main changes Jango made were to the ship's weapons. It already had blaster cannons, but he added lots of extra hidden weaponry, including laser cannons and torpedoes. He also refitted the crew quarters inside the ship to make even the longest journeys possible. The prison cells were changed to coffin-like wall cabinets to make them impossible to break out of. Jango Fett often travels with his son Boba. Jango pilots the ship while young Boba watches and learns from his father. Later, when Boba Fett becomes the owner of Slave 1, he adds even more powerful weapons to the ship. How do you outfit a bounty hunter? Ruthless bounty hunter Jango Fett is after Obi-Wan Kenobi. Usually there is no escape for Fett's victims. Obi-Wan must think fast to come up with a plan if he wants to survive. Enemy closing in. Increase ship speed to try to outrun the bounty hunter starfighter. Take a evasive action. Utilize expert flying maneuvers to avoid laser fire from the enemy starfighter. And it's outwit a bounty hunter. Step 3. Think quickly. If you're in an asteroid belt, try not to get hit by dangerous asteroids zipping by. Number 4. Create a distraction. Use exploding asteroids to make the bounty hunter think your ship has exploded. And number 5. Stay hidden. Find a good hiding spot behind a large asteroid and wait for the bounty hunter to leave. Republic gunships. When the Republic's defenders, the Jedi Knights, are surrounded by Trade Federation forces on the planet of Geonosis, the Republic gunships come to the rescue. These ships are a key part of any successful attack by the Republic. They can move army troops right into position, then take off at speed. Each Republic gunship can transport a team of 30 soldiers and 4 speeder bikes to hotspots on the battlefield. Its thick hull resists enemy fire. It can fly through heavy cannon fire and escape with only a few dents. The Republic gunships can also swoop down to attack ground troops and land vehicles. Jedi starfighters. In the heat of a star battle, every second counts. Jedi Knights, like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, count on their starships to help them slip through a war zone unharmed. They often fly into battle alongside larger ships like the ARC-170. Anakin is training to be a Jedi. His starfighter is small but powerful. It was once a standard Jedi starship, but Anakin uses his skills as a mechanic to improve the vessel. He removed heavy flight instruments and bulky shields for greater speed and control. He even changed its color to yellow to remind him of his old pod racer. Invisible Hand. The Trade Federation's flagship, Invisible Hand, is the most advanced starship in the fleet. Its shields and super thick hull help to protect it from attack by enemy ships. In one incredible battle, the leader of the Republic, Chancellor Palpatine, is captured and held prisoner on the ship. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin rush to rescue the Chancellor from the Trade Federation. Inside the Invisible Hand, the Jedi defeat Chancellor Palpatine's captors, but the ship catches fire. Even though it breaks in half, Anakin manages to land what's left of the vessel before it is destroyed by flames. Escape pods. There are times when a quick getaway is best, especially when lives are in danger. For those times, an escape pod is a very welcome sight. Most large starships and even some planets have escape pods. Smaller ships, such as starfighters, have ejector seats. These ejector seats throw the pilot out of a damaged ship to safety. Escape pods are like lifeboats. Some are only big enough for one person. Others are designed to hold many people. Once launched, the pods automatically find the nearest planet to land on. A typical escape pod has enough supplies to keep the occupants safe and alive until they are rescued. Every escape pod is fitted with communications equipment. This means that the passengers can send out calls for help. They just have to hope that their messages are received by someone friendly. Imperial shuttles. The peaceful Republic has been taken over by Palpatine. He is really an evil schemer whose only goal is power. The Republic is now Palpatine's empire, and he has made himself emperor. Palpatine uses an Imperial shuttle as his personal transport. The sight of the Emperor's ship arriving like a giant bird of prey strikes fear into all who hate the Empire. Important Imperial officers also use these shuttles to get around. One of the officers is Anakin Skywalker, who has now become the evil Darth Vader. Palpatine persuaded the former Jedi to join the vile Empire. Each Imperial shuttle can carry up to 20 troops, as well as cargo. Blasting cannons, shields, and thick hulls protect the ships from enemy attack. The shuttle's side wings fold down when it is in flight, and fold up for landing. TIE Fighters. The small ships called TIE Fighters are the main starfighters of the Imperial forces. The ships are simple and cheap to build because they are made in vast numbers. TIE stands for the twin ion engines that power these small ships. TIE Fighters attack one after another, sometimes hundreds at a time. A single TIE Fighter may be easy to destroy, but for each one shot down, 1,000 more appear. To make these fighters go faster, there is no heavy equipment on the ships. The only weapons are 2 laser cannons. Often, dozens of TIE fighters fire their cannons at the same time to greatly increase their power. Piloting a TIE fighter is a risky business. There is no life support system on board, so the pilots must wear a protective suit. The ships are speedy and move around quickly, but they have no special shields to protect them from enemy fire. The fighters are easy targets from the side because their large wings. It's a good thing there seems to be a steady supply of TIE pilots. TIE fighters have been involved in many fierce battles with enemies of the Empire, including the freedom fighters of the Rebel Alliance. Rebel Fleet. The Rebel Alliance is ready to take on the Empire. Their skilled pilots make the most of their incredible vehicles, like the giant blockade runners and the legendary X-Wings. B-Wing. High firepower for maximum impact. Weapons: 3 ion cannons, 1 heavy laser cannon, 1 twin blaster, 2 torpedo launchers. And did you know? These ships destroyed several Imperial starfighters in the Battle of Endor. X-Wing, perfect balance of speed and firepower. Weapons: 4 laser cannons, 12 torpedo launchers. And did you know? The X-Wing is famous for destroying the first Death Star. A-Wing, high speed, ideal for quick attacks. Weapons: 2 laser cannons, 2 missile launchers. Did you know? An A-Wing once successfully blew up a super star destroyer. Rebel Blockade Runner. Powerful engine can outrun almost anything. Weapons: 2 double turbo laser turrets, 4 single turbo laser turrets. Did you know? A blockade runner served as Princess Leia's personal transport ship. Millennium Falcon. You wouldn't know it from its battered outside, but the Millennium Falcon is one of the fastest vessels in the galaxy. It is owned by Han Solo, a one-time smuggler who fights with the Rebel Alliance against the Empire. The saucer-shaped craft gets its super speed from its hyperdrive engine, which Han has adjusted to make it go even faster. The starship also carries a variety of powerful equipment, such as top-of-the-line sensors, quad laser cannons, and missile launchers. The Millennium Falcon's hull is beaten, battle-scarred, and looks ready for the repair shop. But Han and his co-pilot, the Wookiee Chewbacca, have made many improvements to their starship. They added hidden blaster cannons, escape pods, and secret compartments. Now it is even capable of outrunning an Imperial TIE fighter. These modifications make the Millennium Falcon perfect for rescue missions. In fact, Han, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi use the Falcon to rescue Rebel leader Princess Leia from the Empire. Inside the Millennium Falcon. X-Wing Starfighters. An X-Wing Starfighter is the little ship that destroys the Empire's first Death Star. A huge superweapon. Of course, Luke Skywalker, the brave young Rebel Alliance pilot at the controls that day, has Jedi powers to guide him. But his choice of starship definitely helps him beat the odds. The X-Wings get their name from the shape of their wings. In battle, the wings split into an X shape. At the end of each wing is a powerful laser cannon. The X-Wings are the starfighters of the Rebel Alliance. These speedy starships are equipped with torpedo launchers and have special equipment to help guide the pilot. The Rebel Alliance works out a plan to destroy the Death Star. If the deadly superweapons engine can be hit by a torpedo, it will explode. To do this, a pilot must land a torpedo in a small hole in a deep dark trench. Many rebels try, but it is only future Jedi Luke Skywalker, with a little help from Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon, who hits the target. The Death Star is blown to pieces. The X-Wing becomes a legend among Rebel Alliance pilots. Super Star Destroyer. Many things come in large sizes. Some things come in extra large sizes, but the Super Star Destroyer Executor is so big it is almost off the scale. It is the largest starship in the galaxy. At an incredible 11.8 miles, or 19,000 meters long, this terrifying dagger-shaped giant is evil Darth Vader's command ship. The Super Star Destroyer's enormous size is a symbol of the strength and power of the Empire. Darth Vader's starship is stocked with more than 1,000 deadly weapons, ready to use in any attack on the Rebel Alliance. It can also carry thousands of troops, starfighters, vehicles, and other military equipment. The Super Star Destroyer's deflector shield, dome, helps protect the ship from attack, and the communications tower makes sure the ship gets its messages across loud and clear. The Executor is the first of many Super Star Destroyers to be built by the Empire with the aim of crushing all of its enemies. But even these ships cannot stop the Rebel Alliance. During one battle, an out-of-control Rebel Alliance A-Wing starfighter crashes into the Executor's bridge. The blast damages the Super Star Destroyer's controls. The giant ship can no longer resist the pull of the second Death Star, and the two collide in a spectacular explosion. We have the glossary, where we can see definitions, and an index if you want to re-look up certain pieces of information. And a guide for parents if you would like to go back and read this on how to use the book. Thank you for joining me for this Read Aloud Star Wars Star Pilot. I'm Mr. Turner with Turner's Tutoring, wishing you not only a fantastic rest of your day, but if you celebrated May the 4th be with you, this book is just for you. Have a great one.